Dr. Ferguson, you are a midwife.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to know what led you to that profession.
Well, I think I've always just had a draw for that, for mothers and babies. It's just always been a real interest of mine ever since childhood. I've loved hearing stories about birth and about just about mothers and their children, and that interaction has always been a large part of my life, probably because I'm the oldest of 7 children, so I've watched that interaction a lot growing up. My mother was a La Leche League leader.
And she was a
La Leche League leader?
Okay.
That's a international organization that promotes breastfeeding.
Oh, okay.
And then had also had 5 children at home herself. So I was present for some of those births, and I think just that early exposure gave me a lot of interest, a lot of interest in that. I love birth stories, and was drawn to that.
So what kind of training was involved in that?
I received about 2 years worth of training, classes in prenatal care and obstetric care, and complications and emergency training and neonatology, etc. Trained in all those different areas over those 2 years, as well as doing a lot of practical hands-on training as well. We were responsible for finding other licensed midwives to practice under who could train us. And so I attended births and prenatals and helped manage all those cases as well during my training period.
What is the difference between a delivery made by a midwife and one made by an MD?
I think a lot of the difference comes in our approach to birth itself.
All right.
Midwives would approach, in general, birth from the standpoint that birth is a natural process, and while things can go wrong and need to be certainly monitored for, in general, our bodies were made right. And in general, birth should be a natural process, as natural as possible. And it's a belief that women can birth their babies. They have that ability, that we don't need a lot of drugs or a lot of intervention to do that. And in fact, that with less drugs and less intervention, those interventions will be less necessary. So maybe it's just a little bit different philosophy regarding birth that we approach it from.
I just have to ask you, do you have them lay on their backs? That is the hardest way to deliver a baby.
It depends. We usually have the mother in the position that she prefers to be in.
Okay.
Sometimes that is on her back if she so prefers that. A lot of times it's more of an upright position, though, whether that be a squatting position, a sort of half-seated position. Birthing on a birth stool is very common, too. So I would say that generally they are more upright than they are lying on their back. It's at some kind of angle.
Well, the gravity too.
Gravity is a great help in getting that baby out. So we use all the natural things we can use. So gravity certainly helps.
Thank you very much.
Yes.